Suicide is the 12th leading cause of death in the U.S. In 2020, the CDC reported nearly 46,000 deaths as a result of suicide. That averages about one death every 11 minutes. It's estimated that about 275,000 people become suicide survivors every year. In 2020, 12.2 million seriously thought about suicide. 3.2 million made a plan for suicide. 1.2 million attempted suicide.
My name is Yolanda Williams, and I'm a suicide survivor. I had a mother and a father in the home. I'm the oldest child, and I have a younger brother. I was a child, I was in a child's body, but I was always worried about my brother. I would almost say, and on his Facebook post, he would call me his second mom. So we were close in age, but I still felt like I had responsibility for him. For example, when we took pictures, we didn't take them separate. My parents would tell me, my dad in particular, go get your brother. We're paying for one package, and you guys are gonna take the picture together. So that's a lot of responsibility because my peers were just in line to take the picture. I had to think, oh, it's getting closer. I need to go to his teacher. I need to get him, let me straighten his collar, let me make sure my hair is good, and take this picture. And after the picture, return him to his teacher and his class lineup like I promised to do. Sometimes I look back and wish I would have enjoyed life more like my brother. The gravity of life and, I'm here in this dimension, in this time, in this space, and I need to figure out what I'm gonna do and how I'm gonna do it, and just the weight of it all. All of that started hitting me probably around the age of 12. I played basketball when I was in middle school. I remember the high school coach. He came from Columbia High. He saw me play and everything, was excited about me going to Columbia High. And I didn't realize at the time, both my brother and I couldn't play basketball. It's expensive. The verbiage that I've told my children and nieces and nephews, well, most families would go with the male child. And, that doesn't necessarily mean that he was a better player than the female child, but that's just how it was. And I would brush it away. However, I was devastated because part of my identity being formed was being a part of that group outside of my family and coming together and working hard so that we would be victorious over the other team. And I excelled at it. And then now all of a sudden, my reward for excelling at it and being a great student, I'm rewarded with, I can't play anymore. So that was the first blow. And then having to go to the games and cheer everybody else on, but I'm dying inside because I don't understand why am I not there? I was actually good. When I finally went off to college, I got scholarships and grants and things like that, but I attended Wofford College, very costly. And so I still had some fees that were out of pocket. And then my parents were like, yeah, well, you think you could play basketball again? No, I missed 4 years, and this is on a collegiate level. And although I was really good, I've missed out too much. There's no way that I can catch up. That just compounded, okay, well, I guess I'm not that important. Before I got to college, there was a guy concert. My best friend at the time, Pam, she wasn't available to go to the concert, so I took her sister, Tanya. And I just dropped Tanya off at their mother's house. And I remember going around Malfunction Junction. And I was going a little bit too fast. And it was hard to gain control. But I thought, for a second, if I go this way, if something should happen to me, I'm not gonna fight to live. What would I be fighting for? That final, conclusive thought hit me then, but up until that point, little things that happened, it was always looming. But I never, oh, I'm a good girl, I go to church. Oh no, I'm not. I'm good. I'm just gonna have to keep moving forward. Put a smile on my face, and the world will smile back at me. Now, I've been putting a smile on my face, and that's not what I've encountered. But since family has told me this, it has to be right. Long story short, the people closest to me, I didn't feel like I should have a conversation about it. I didn't feel like it would be understood or anybody would care. As a matter of fact, I felt like it would make the weight that I already carried heavier. The first time I got help was right after college, when I realized, wait a minute, this is a lot. And whenever things happened, I don't really feel like I have anyone I can call. Yeah, I have a 3.7 GPA, working on my master's in English/creative writing with the emphasis in screenwriting. But that anxiety is what's driving the GPA. Why do I keep checking? Is it because I'm learning and I'm being thorough? Or is it because I think I'm not good enough? Or is it because I think something's wrong with me? Or is it because I think I'm stupid? When my children were born, that was my new why. I still hadn't gotten to me yet. They didn't ask to come here. I prayed for them, and it's an honor to be their mother. I will fight. And not only will I fight to be here for them, but I'm gonna make changes. They can tell me if they feel like something's wrong, and I'm gonna take them to somebody. I'm gonna take them somewhere. I'm not gonna tell them, shh, what happens in this house stays in this house. I may not know the answers, but when I could see certain clues that their depression is flaring up or anything of that nature, because they do have diagnosis, it's almost like being at the beach and seeing a wave. If I see that wave and I'm in the water with them, I can't stop the wave from coming, but I can hold on to them in the surfboard and promise them that no matter what the wave does, I will not go anywhere, that I won't abandon them. So I think my why, even though I didn't understand it then, was to take the lessons that I've learned and to tell my stories. I'm a storyteller. That's what I do. But I never could have conceived at the time what I would go through to press the stories out of me. Another person that I would have to credit for my writing, indirectly Oprah, but more specifically and more directly is Tyler Perry. As I watched his plays, I was at home being me, being wounded, being hurt, being open. He wasn't in that room with me, but what he did in those earlier plays spoke and touched me and helped me bring healing. So I'm very grateful to him for what he survived, to follow his dreams so that I could have that, because I needed that. Finally, I will, by the time this production is done, have received my master's in English/creative writing with an emphasis in screenwriting. I'll be completely done, and I've started my business. It's the Dream Quest Center. Through that business, I am telling my story, and I tell it and I reveal myself through the various characters. Now, with me sitting before you being 50 years old, I know what a difference a day makes. Today, a person may feel like it's all over. What is it all for? I don't have any money. I can't go back to school, my job, my work, my relationship, whatever it is. They may feel that way, but all I can tell you is at being 50 years old, just keep on living, because the difference a day makes is incredible. You have no idea. At 11 p.m. on Thursday, you might have been at your lowest and not wanting to live to see another day. By 8 a.m. on Friday, everything can be different in the blink of an eye. You just got to keep on living, and you got to keep on believing. I don't think about suicide, again, because of my background, but I've had a few rough days. Like with anyone, it's not just out of the blue. like there is a trigger, whether it be something happening with my children or something triggering from the past, my background, my family, or whatever, but you recognize them and you're stronger for it. And now I can speak to someone else with power because I know how you feel. And thank you for smiling at me. And thank you for being pleasant. But I know exactly where you are. The essence of who you are never changes. It's consistent. And you have a purpose and a destiny to fulfill. The sun is still shining behind the clouds.